Well, a week and a ago, went to use the backhoe and wouldn't start. Found that the battery was dead. And I had the battery go dead just sitting on me previously, and it was only sitting for a couple weeks and it went dead. So something seems to be putting a draw on the electrical system. And what doesn't help matters is the fact that that battery was old as the hills. Matter of fact, here it is right here. This is the battery that was in it when we pulled it out of the woods, and I was actually surprised then that this battery took a charge and actually worked. So I'm not surprised now that it is junk. I've tried charging it overnight, fast charge, slow charge, whatever, and put it in the backhoe and it won't even crank it. I was beginning to wonder if I was having a problem with bad connections or solenoid or even the starter. And then I took the battery out of this truck, which this truck has dual batteries. They're regular size batteries, but it uses two of them because it's a diesel. And I took that regular size battery out of here, stuck it in there, and it spun it nice and fast and started right up. So I'm satisfied that I did have a bad battery. I'm not entirely convinced that I still don't have a problem with maybe something that puts a draw on the thing when it's sitting. Could still be having a problem with that key switch. Again, water gets in that key switch and raises hell with it so that it kind of acts like it's being left in the on position even when it's off. It's a high resistance short, basically. And the other problem that I discovered was my battery box is completely rotted. Basically the whole thing just kind of is falling apart and rotting out. So I need to come up with some sort of a remedy for this horrible battery box situation. But for the time being, since mainly just want to get the new battery in, get it running, we'll just rely on the weight of the battery on top of this piece of wood here to hold it together for us. So it's $98 right there. Oh yeah, the dead giveaway about why I think that this key switch might be a culprit is because the key switch no longer works. It was working for starting, now it doesn't, so I've had to resort back to the old hot wiring that I was doing back when I first got the machine. Alright, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this thing to, if I could start this thing with one hand. Well, I really want to install the levers that I welded back on the backhoe here, and before I can do that I've got to straighten out this rod. You can see how bad that one's really badly bent, and then these two are okay. This one's just a little bit bent, and this one's pretty badly bent, so I'll just take these cotter pins out and these pins out and straighten them out. I think what I'm going to want to do to try and avoid having them snap when I'm bending them is I'm probably going to use the oxyacetylene torch and heat them up. Here's a tip for you: never leave your oxyacetylene torch set out in direct sunlight for long periods of time. This is what has happened to my hose set. It's completely bleached out. It used to be that color, and now it's this color, which probably is not good for the see, you can see it's like chalky on the outside there, so that's not good. Well, the heat did the trick. Straightened them out real nice and easy. I just put them on a flat rock and tapped them, and when they were hot they moved, bent back real nice. So now I just reinstalled them on this end, put new cotter pins in where needed, and now I just got to get the rod through here and put the new handles on. Well, not the new handles, the repaired handles. Well, I got a replacement Zerk fitting to go in the end of this hollow shaft that supports the levers, but it doesn't want to thread in. The threads are a little damaged on the end there, so I'm going to try and clean it out with this tap. Well, I got it to go in part way and then it really gets tight. I think part of the problem is that I don't have the right size tap. That's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if that's NPT, as in National Pipe Thread, which has a taper to it. I'm not even sure what these Zerk fittings are. I just had these laying around, a whole little packet full of them, but they don't have a size on them either, so I don't even know what the thread is on those. But I got it to thread in there pretty tight, and I think that's going to be good enough. I just mounted this little grinding stone in my drill press here because I need to hog this out a little bit because it's still binding. This is one of the short levers that's for the stabilizing arms. You can see there's a flat spot right there, and that's where it kind of got crushed down a little bit when I was banging on it. So I think I can remedy that with this stone. Alright, so that took care of the binding. Now, my only problem is I seem to be missing a handle. I mean, is it just me or did I start with 6? Of course I did. Well, I got something wrong here. Oh, I think I got this one on backwards. No. What's the deal? Those two seem to line up okay. This handle right here that didn't break appears to be way out of whack from the others. And it's not just because I didn't get all these other ones perfectly straight. Ooh, wife yell at the kids. Alright, I think I figured it out. As luck would have it, I never took this lever off. So this lever seems to go out this way. And then when this lever's next to it, it seems to have quite a flare to it also. So I'm thinking maybe this one needs to be on the left, far left, because these two tend to be almost straight. So I don't know. Well, I found one of the containers I had hardware in, and it only had 2 of these rubber lever covers on them in it, which looks like this one here and this one here might have been more recently removed. I don't know, so I'm still missing one of those. May have been missing one of those in the beginning. I'll have to look at the old video. And I only found one of the pins, so hopefully I've got another container around here with the pins in it. But I put this pin in temporarily. Discovered a couple of things. I've got to take this rod back out, put all of these pins in to the handles first, and then put the rod through all the handles, because it's very hard. There's like no clearance in here to get these pins in. So I think I kind of remembered when I was taking it apart, I had to kind of do the reverse. I had to take the whole pivot rod out before I could get these pins out. And then, like, here's another thing here. This handle fell back, and now it won't clear, so I can't actually bring this stabilizer control handle vertical anymore. So I'm going to have to take the pin out just to do that. But I did put this pin in temporarily so I can see the alignment here, and this is what's kind of throwing me off, is this kind of weird deal where this handle's way off to the side here, and this one's more, seems closer to the proper alignment. I think what I got to do is I've got to pin these other 2 handles over here into position, and then kind of look and see which one's the furthest one out of whack. Oh, so last night it started to get dark, and I was looking all around, couldn't find those pins, and then today I was cleaning out my utility trailer where I had a whole bunch of stuff piled in there, and I kind of had a feeling it was in there somewhere, and sure enough I came across this coffee jar, and it's got my pins that I was missing, and it's got the 2 bolts for the metal cover that goes on this thing, And I also have the other handle. So looks like I think I've got all the handles now. Right, so I was missing, yeah, I was missing 3 and got 2 there, and now the phone's ringing. Wow, I hate telemarketers. Okay, so I got the pin in this one, and when I put this one up into the proper position, I could see my problem is I've got this handle on backwards. Well, I turned that handle around and it's still a mess. It's you can see this handle is almost straight up, and this one is way down, which I thought maybe this one was bent, but it's funny because it actually lines up with this one, and this one kind of lines up with it, but kind of flays out this way off to the side. And that might be a little bit by design. That gives you a little more, you know, that like gives you a little more room between the handles. That's making me think though maybe this handle might be, I don't know. Wouldn't it be better to have this handle on this side? No. Well, now looking at it from this side, I think I still have this handle on backwards, because this handle comes out, goes up and over, and this handle goes up, over. In other words, if I bend this forward, yeah, I've got this handle on backwards still. How the heck did I do that? I thought I just said it was on backwards and flipped around. It still seems screwed up. How come no matter which way I put that handle, I still end up with this opposing angles here? You see it? Well, duh. This is the way the handle should go on. The problem is this handle's way back here and it should be way out here. So if I readjust this linkage on this right here, if I shorten this linkage up, I could actually move it out a little bit, but not much. And then by the same token, I could move out the linkage on this one. That would bring this handle back more. But I think the problem really is that this one right here, I think has got too much of a bend in it at the base. And then this one over here, that one I didn't break off or re-weld, and it's in its original position. I think that somebody else, when they re-welded it back on, you could tell by the little slobbers and balls of molten metal that are stuck here, that this was a after factory weld up job. And I think when they welded this on, they welded this handle on crooked.